welcome back. So this week with Rhubarb Yoga we are going to look at another pose of balance, another thing to test us in stability when things may be off kilter around us. So with the pose we're going to do today is eagle pose, Garudasana. And Garuda from Sanskrit was the eagle god. So Garudasana, or eagle pose, is an evolution, if you want to break it down, from chair pose or Utkatasana, which we've done before several weeks ago. And we need to be in a similar position to retain that balance, to give us that foundation, and to move on into Garudasana. So, while we are trying to find our balance and be stable, I hope you found some last week with tree pose, Vrikshasana, and it gave you a moment of peace, focus, or concentration, if that was what you were looking for. So Garudasana, we're going to need a prop to help with your balance, just while you feel the pose and how you feel in it. So looking back, let's get into a chair pose, which may be familiar for some, and for not, don't worry, we're not going to be in it for long. But something we do need to do is to engage the thighs, which are going to be our foundation today. Just like Vrikshasana, where our thighs come together and we have that external rotation, with Garudasana we are bringing the thighs together and creating a bond, a strong base, so that our wings could fly. So let's get working. So coming to stand, we're going to originally come to a basic chair. And just to remind you, our chair, let's turn to the side, our feet can be hip width apart, nice and spread, toes open on the mat, or they can be toe knuckles to touch, with heels a little bit apart. Have a go, see what works for you. I prefer my feet closer together, I feel more grounded that way, but everyone's different. So coming into our foundation with our chair pose, our knees bend together, and let's bring them together by doing that. And then our hips bend as well. But what we want is, we don't want our hips lower than our knees, because then we're coming into squat, and that's not what we're doing today. So our Utkatasana is our basic chair, and that's what we're looking for really, is this shape. And if you're finding this a struggle, if you're finding it difficult to bring the thighs in to be engaged, grab a prop, and we want that between the thighs. It doesn't matter where, as long as it's not on the kneecaps, but by doing this and squeezing the thighs and then coming into our bend, you might feel the strength is very, very different. And you might feel more grounded, you might feel stronger in the feet, and the legs are definitely in activation. So have a go at that first and see if that is going to work for you today. So with this, we've got our basic chair, and this is a similar shape. So let's take the block away. We will not be able to move into Garudasana with that, but we are going to need it near the feet. Nearly forgot. So, with Garudasana, we are crossing the legs one over another. And we all might be familiar with crossing our legs. We'll do it. Some people say we shouldn't do it. Not good for the veins, not good for the circulation. But if we're not going to contort ourselves into a pretzel, sometimes it's quite a nice relief, particularly for the hips. And this is a similar way of looking at eagle pose. We will be laying one thigh over the other, and the outer leg can be lying next to the bent leg. And if that's good for you, you can apply a block, place it under the foot, and it can rest while you tackle the arms. So this is very similar to how we're going to be on the mat. So you could prepare by practicing this, by practicing the thigh engagement and bringing them together. By bringing the thighs together, you may feel the lower stomach contract. That's our core engaging. You may even feel your mulla bandha, pelvic floor, lift up. All of those are vital to a great foundation whenever you're trying to create a pose. So this is the sort of style that we're looking at. Let's translate it to the mat. So if we're going to use the right leg crossing over, facing the camera, let's bring this block this side for an extra bit of profile. So we're going to bend. Let's not worry about the arms right now. They can be on the waist. You may feel more balanced with them slightly outside. It's absolutely fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to do what we just did then. We're going to cross the top leg over the bottom. And that's as far as it goes for some people. If you want to use the block to give that leg a little bit of support, that's fantastic, because what that will do is that will aim you to focus on the thigh strength before anything else comes into play. So by doing this, bring the thighs together, create one unit of strength. The lower leg is strong, the feet are grounded, the toes are spread. This leg is supported for the time being. Almost don't need to think about this right now. Let's create that bond. And that is our eagle legs, our Garudasana legs. They are coming together. You may feel the stomach switch on again and the pelvic floor. And if that feels okay, then you are strong. And now our eagle arms. If our right leg is going over, then when we wrap our eagle arms, it must go under. So we're going to cross the left over the right, and that could be it. Hand to hand, back to back. And that is our eagle arms. So turning to the side, so you can see the profile. Let's bend the knees, cross the top leg over, and then we will wrap back to back. If you feel that you have more strength and a little bit more stretch, you may even be able to bring the hands together, but it is not a competition. Please don't overstretch and overreach. Allow the body to become familiar in this shape before you extend the shape and work forward. So coming down, hands together, and the important thing about the arms here, you will feel the shoulders open behind you. Lift the elbows a little so they are directly opposite the chin, and then allow the shoulder blades to drop. And if we're looking at a drishti, we can look at the arms in front of us, and that could be our drishti. So let's come into our eagle. As long as the hips don't lower beneath the knee, hands to the ceiling like we are an eagle. And there we are. So, removing the block, if we feel we've got our balance, and we feel we want to see if we can move it to the next level, and not use the block, let's look at it on the other side. So, our feet need to be hip width apart in Garudasana. As not with chair, we need that even balance. So that's the only thing we need to ensure we're doing when we go into Garudasana. So when we put that small bend in our thighs, our feet are secure. Our hips are lined up, and we're ready to go. So, hands on the waist, or hands can be free. Bring the top leg over, wrapping it over the lower thigh. And by bringing the two thighs together, we're almost interlocking them. And that creates our base straight away. So we can leave that leg at the side, next to the other shin. We may feel completely comfortable and confident right there. If we want to wrap it further, please don't worry about this. It is not vital. Some people feel more comfortable, and some people have that extra space. It doesn't matter. This shape is the shape, not where the lower foot is right now. So we've got our shape, we're bringing our legs together. Let's ignore the wobble at the moment while my muscles are trying to adapt, and let us find our bend. And now we're going to bring our arms, and we're going to wrap the right arm over this time. Back to back. Or hand to hand. And feel the thighs coming together. If you feel a leg is wobbling, allow that muscle to adapt. The tremor in any muscle, mainly in the legs, is an adaptation. It's the muscle creating the ability to be in its position at that time. As long as there is no pain, there is no uncomfortableness, and no immediate, short, sharp sensations. If any of those are experienced, step back, come out, and take a minute. With Garudasana, the only thing I will ask as well, when you try it, is when we are bringing our thighs over, bring the thigh over the thigh, not near the knee. You're going to displace your kneecap, and that is not fun. And anyone who has a tricky knee is going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So when we're wrapping the thighs. My knee's still there. And if we double wrap, and we have that chance and that ability, and if we have that choice, make sure the pelvis is keeping forward. Our bones are that way, not that way, not that way. And then we keep the alignment through the body, the joints, and the major sections of our body that deal with our mobility are not knocked out of shape. So, that is our eagle pose. Can you find a balance in it? Can you find stability if things start blowing you around? Can you find some clarity and concentration too? Hopefully, some of you can. Enjoy Garudasana.